came to win, yeah, I came to win. Can't no one stop me, yeah, bring it in. I came to win, yeah, I came to win.
Because that's what we came to do today.
Absolutely.
Every day we come to win, quite honestly, sir. Every freaking day. What's up,
Yes.
Mr. Stanley? How you doing?
I'm doing great, Donna. How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. Today we are going to dish a little dirt. We're going to tell some goods. We're going to tell the secrets. We're going to pull them out of the closet. And as somebody who's been up there with the stratosphere, hanging out with actual billionaires, I'm going to
That's
tell
cool.
you today what some of the wealthiest billionaire entrepreneurs do that many entrepreneurs are totally avoiding. So let's jump right in and do this. Is that cool?
Yeah. I can't wait.
So at the end of the day, we see people that are experts that have decided that what they're going to do is they're going to go out there and hang their shingle as an expert, right? And they're getting leads. So they're getting leads. They figured out that part, which probably took them a little while to do, but they're getting leads and they're closing about 20 to 30% of those leads. So they get them in and they're having 10 conversations. Out of every 10, they're closing 2 to 3. And they're pretty happy with that. Listen, some weeks are better than the others. Some weeks they get 10 leads and they close 0. Other weeks they get 10 leads, they close 3. Other weeks they get 10 leads, they close 4. Like, and then they think that they're on that trajectory, and then all of a sudden they get 10 leads and they close 0 again. So, and we know how that goes. The feast and famine roller coaster can be very real when you're an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
But this year, the entrepreneurs that I've been talking to said that they are committed to doubling their revenue. And they've decided that what they're going to do, and we've talked about this, I've talked to several of them, they're like, no, I'm going to get an ads person and I'm just going to double my leads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just so we're clear, I'm going to add person and double my leads. But this also means that if you're doubling your leads, you're going to have to double the amount of time you're on sales calls.
Yep.
Because now you got to talk to twice as many losers. No, I'm sorry.
Oh, Freudian slip.
You have to talk to twice as many people, including those 8, which you clearly think are unqualified people. You got to talk to them too. And so the thing is, I get why they're going that direction. Like, they usually think that's the only direction to go, because what they've done so far is they've raised their rates, right? And they're going, well, Donna, I raised my rates. And my favorite thing that I hear from them is they say, but my current client won't pay that. My current client won't pay that higher rate.
Yep.
A lot of them get a lot of business through referrals. And so then they go, well, what I'll do is I'll incentivize on my referrals. Or my favorite that they do is they put that questionnaire on every, when someone books.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
and
the calendar link questions.
Oh my God. Yes. Like, let's put 20 questions on there.
Yeah.
Like, let's do the whole sales call in questionnaire style. Yeah. People love that. That's
all those barriers.
Or the other thing, oh my God, it drives people nuts. Or the other thing that they do is then they go into, well, what do they think they have to do as a salesperson? They think they have to push harder. So then they this thing, well, like, all I got to do is push harder. If I push harder, I can close more sales. And here's the thing, quite honestly, many of those routes are good, but many of those routes are bad, because here's the thing. If you keep going this direction without fixing the one thing that you actually need to fix, the money that you made last year is going to be the exact same money you make this year, and the year after that, and the year after that, if you're lucky.
Yep.
And what they really don't realize until they've gone through this is what they won't realize until they've done all the things, is that they're going to find out at the end of this year, or at the end of next year, or at the end of the year after that, after they've struggled for several years, and I do mean years, is that they will have figured out that PUFA pricing doesn't work. You know what
PUFA pricing. I think I know.
Yeah. They'll figure out PUFA pricing, which is pulled out of
somewhere. I can't say it.
I'll be your anger translator. Pulled out of your ass. That's what it is. It's PUFA pricing, right? You're pulling it out of your butt, right? PUFA pricing does not work. burning through 7 or 8 out of every 10 leads is really, really expensive. And so you're just throwing marketing money away. You're going to soon discover that your referral sources are not your full-time sales team
Mm-hmm.
at all. And that most sales strategies that you're doing out there, including that always be closing strategy,
Mm.
and most of the sales strategies, if you go and look at most of the sales books, they're not built for business owners and entrepreneurs. They're built for sales pros and
Right.
not for entrepreneurs who want to enroll clients. So if this is your decade to get it done and there's going to be no more messing around, no more leaving money on the table, you actually can raise your rates. You can. And you can get 6, 7, and 8 clients to enroll for every 10 without leaving money on the table. And here's my favorite part. You can actually double your revenue without talking to twice as many people. You
That's
can
pretty sweet.
that part. I like that part. I can double my revenue without doing extra work. I'm going to make more money and not do extra work.
Yeah, sign me up for that.
Yeah, you don't have to have more sales calls, right? You actually need a strategy that's built for experts by an expert. You need something that works for you. All right, so before we go into all of that, let's talk about who we are. What's up, Cynthia? I see you online, sweetheart. I just saw you. Cynthia is one of my clients. So if you're like, oh, why'd she she shouted out Cynthia and not me, become a client. All right, so let's go ahead and get it started. My name is Donna St. Louis. I am the co-founder of Fire Savvy. I am also a master sales coach. Claim to fame is I was homeless when I was 19. I built a business for $250 million and sold it when I was 39 and retired for 30 days. And the way that I did it was I figured out how to do sales in a way that felt good for people just like me, who, by the way, hated sales. I
Which
hated
is
sales.
blows my mind.
Yep. So today we're going to dish the dirt. All right. And who are you, sir? Who is this handsome stranger here talking
Yeah.
to me?
Well, thank you, Donna. My name is Doug Stampley, and I am the Fire Savvy Client Concierge and Mindset Coach. And I have the privilege of working with two amazing co-founders, Donna St. Louis and Chanel Evans, and our amazing Fire Savvy family. So,
We have
yeah.
amazing thing.
So you talked about something. Is it okay if I ask you some
Yeah.
questions?
Jump
Okay,
in.
because I got some good questions here and stuff.
All right.
Now you talked about like doing less marketing, and the higher rates, you don't have to do that. So why do wealthy entrepreneurs do less marketing and have higher rates?
Right. And they also have higher enrollment. And here's the reason that they can do less marketing, way less marketing. They can have much higher rates and have higher enrollments and make more money than everyone else, is because they're more effective at doing their marketing. That's number one.
Okay.
They need fewer leads. Number two, they
Mm-hmm.
have more qualified buyer conversations. Number three, and when they get on a call, and when I say they're having more qualified buyer conversations, it's because they're following a strategy that allows them to qualify buyers into the right offer instead of whatever offer they're trying to ram down their throat. So they're those 4 things. And let me give you a really good example of this. A really good example is, where did I leave it? I left my prop somewhere. Okay, I'll be okay. I want you to imagine, damn it, that this is an iPhone. Okay. Right?
Okay.
An Apple iPhone, the greatest device ever made. So gotta get that in. So think about how many times you actually see an Apple commercial, right? Now, especially as compared to when they first came out with the iPod. When they came out with the iPod, right, that's when they were doing a lot of heavy commercials. They really needed to find their audience, figure out who they were going to tap into, figure out who they were going to connect with, all that other stuff, right? So
Mm-hmm.
back then, they were like, who is going to be my audience? Who is my audience? And who, by the way, is not my audience?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look today, they do very limited commercials. They have fewer, Apple only owns a smidgen of the market. they have more qualified buyers that walk in the store. People don't walk in going, I don't know if I want to get a phone. They walk in going, no, I'm here for the 15. Yeah, no, I
Right.
heard it. I
Right.
heard I'm here for the 15. Like they know what they're there for, right? They're not going in to figure it out. They know why they're there. And because it's such a targeted niche, because they're so effective at targeting, what ends up happening is they're actually charging a higher rate. Fun fact, Apple was twice as much as a BlackBerry was when it became the BlackBerry killer.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Apples were $600. Blackberries were $300.
Wow. Okay. So it obviously wasn't just a price factor,
No,
because otherwise people wouldn't be buying them.
right. They were the most expensive phone on the market, and they couldn't copy and paste. At the time, they didn't have nearly any of the technology they have today. But they're a $1 trillion company today.
Yeah.
But think about then. What they did was when they became really, really effective. Imagine if you decided that you were going to only market to a particular audience.
Yeah. Yep.
You're going to get fewer leads, but that audience is going to be aware of the time, effort, and investment factors associated with working with you. They're going to feel like, oh, this person gets me. I'll give you another really good example. Let's imagine like you are let's say you're a doctor,
Mhm.
right? If you're a doctor and you are a generalist, then people are coming to you for anything like, I hurt my toe, I hurt my elbow, I hurt my eye, I don't know, my hair isn't curling properly today. Whatever. They're like, people are just, they're walking in and they're like,
Coming with all the things.
there's something, all the things are happening, right? So, but then imagine that there is like a giant wart growing off your big toe. And you can go to a podiatrist, and the podiatrist is like, okay, but then there's a podiatrist that specifically specializes in giant warts
Mm.
and fixes them within 1 hour of you getting there. And
Oh,
right. So,
yeah.
giant wart specialist in Texas, guaranteed to work. We'll get rid of your giant wart in 1 hour, guaranteed that it's not going to come back. Are you going to your general doctor? Are you going to the podiatrist, or are you going to the one that specializes in what you do, what you want?
Yeah. You're going right to the home run, like,
Right.
that
You're getting
person's
on the
like,
plane, you're going to
that's their
Texas.
specialty, right?
Right. You're going to
Yeah.
Texas. Like you're going
Yeah,
to Texas to
for
see the
sure.
guy. Right.
Yeah,
Now, are you going to pay more?
probably.
Of course you are. This guy only
Yeah,
does one thing, right? Not
that's their
only are
thing.
you buying a plane ticket, you're staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
You're gonna spend more. So when people say my current client won't pay this, you're right. They won't.
Mm. Mm. Right, that part.
That part.
Yep. Yeah. What's interesting about that, Donna, is I'm listening to you talk about like, those conversations and everything. I remember like when we first started working together and you were just introducing this to me, and I'm coming from the always be closing world and the push, push, push and everything. I was so like focused on that. I couldn't even focus on, the person that I was talking to and are they even qualified? And I wasn't even like aware of that process. But what's
Mhm.
cool is that now, like when I'm having a conversation, I can pick up on that so much faster. Like, are they even qualified? Like in a first couple questions, because the bat signal makes it so easy. And
Right.
so as I was thinking about that, as you were sharing that, I'm like, oh, that's why I feel so much different now than when I started having those
And think
conversations.
back even
Yeah.
more, Doug, when how much time you used to spend on a sales call then versus how much time you spend on a sales call today.
So, okay, full transparency. Can I share this with you?
Yeah, go.
I feel bad saying this, but like I would get caught, just like talking, we're having this great conversation and everything, but I'm not really accomplishing anything. right? And I would look down and all of a sudden I would literally say to myself, oh my God, 45 minutes has gone by and I don't even really know where I'm at in this process. And I haven't really, I don't know if I know if I'm any further ahead than I was 45 minutes ago, other than we've had this conversation and stuff. So yeah, that's huge. That's
It's
huge.
it the difference is night and day because like you said now, so let's even look at the time. You might have
Yep.
spent 90 minutes on the phone call the first time,
Hmm.
right? Probably another half an hour the second time, and
Yep.
then another 15 minutes the third time. So you're 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And now, so if you had 10 people, that's 20 hours. Now you
Yeah.
know within what, 15 minutes?
Oh yeah. 15 minutes for sure. Yep.
Yeah. You know within
Yeah.
15 minutes whether you're going to go forward. So yeah, it
Right.
is about niching and finding the right client. That is true. So you want to make sure that you niche. You want to make sure that you find the right client. And if you do that, then you can reduce your marketing dollars and you can bring in more qualified leads. But
Mm.
that is only part of the solution, right?
Right. Right. Okay. So we're talking about the one percenters, right?
Mhm.
So how do they close deals then? You
Right,
know, how
because
does that
now
one
because
percent?
they're because now instead of having 100 leads, right, they only
Yep.
have maybe 50,
Right.
right? So they don't have as many. They don't have as
Yep.
many leads. Like I said, Apple owns a sliver of the market share, but they're a trillion-dollar company, right? So they have fewer leads, but they're closing more deals,
Got it.
right? Okay,
Yep.
so let me answer the question. How are they doing that? This is how they close more deals. If I'm on the phone with more qualified clients, let's start there,
Hmm.
right? Then I'm having so what let me go back. So what happens when I talk to most coaches and consultants and stuff like that? They're doing one of three things. They're
Okay.
either number one, having a conversation where they're like, I have to sell this. This is going to be sold today, right? This is a vinyl rubber and plastic protectant for your car. You don't have a car. Okay, great. Do you have toys at home? Right. If you don't have toys. Do you have plastic? Do you have rubber shoes? Do you have rubber boots? We like you, right? It does not matter, right? At some
Right.
point, you don't even care if the person has vinyl rubber or plastic. You're selling this.
Yeah.
Period. The end. You got on that call. You own you 2 out of 10 calls. You got to sell this,
Yep.
right? So they're doing that closed strategy of calling of selling. I have this product. I'm going to sell it to you, right? I have an academy coming up next
Yeah.
quarter. It doesn't matter if you have surgery and you're going to be in a coma for 4 weeks. You can show up. It's a 6-week class.
No excuses.
Right. No excuses. No excuses. You will buy this, right?
Yeah.
Close strategy, right? Then the second one is the interrogative strategy. The
Yeah.
interrogative strategy, they actually are going to just question you, and they're asking closing questions so early in the conversation that you as a client feel like you're being interrogated, right? So
Yep.
why do the wealthy do better? Is why do they close more deals? Because number one, they're speaking to a very targeted audience. So they can ask very specific questions that have to
Mm.
do with qualifying. They can pivot their marketing, their conversations, their questions, and everything they're doing to move a client to a way more effective area. And because they're using a curiosity driven strategy, they can deliver qualified offers.
Hmm.
The offer itself is qualified for this person. I'm not trying to figure out what are you going to buy this or this or this. You got a car,
Right.
you're going to go outside, you got a phone. Like I'm not doing that. I don't have to
Yep.
do that. Now I'm having a conversation with you. You found listen, I went directly where you were having where your desires were and where your pain was. You were tired of leaving money on the table? Cool. You're selling, but you don't feel like you're selling the best? Great. You're selling your brilliance as a coach, a consultant, or an expert? Awesome. You want to sell a higher ticket product? You want to enroll more clients? You're selling about 20 to 30%? Perfect. I went exactly where you were. Now, what it really comes down to is, are you serious? Are you going to put in the time and the effort? Or are you going to go out there and keep effing around and finding out?
Mm. Mhm.
Because if you're serious, you're going, I need to go to that class. If
Yeah.
you're not serious, then you're like, whatever. Right?
Right. Yeah. I love that because it cuts right through all the, BS.
Yeah. Well, it truly is. It's funny. It's like you find people who have something to sell, but they're selling it in all the wrong places, right? It's like
Mm. Mhm.
it's like, I'm trying to find trying to find something that doesn't offend you, Doug. I mean, not that you get offended easy, but it's really, I'm always talking to women. It's like,
That's alright, go for it.
well, I was gonna say it's like, selling tampons at the, NASCAR. They're like, gonna find more guys there than women. Like it's not your target market. You're in the wrong spot. Like, go somewhere else. Right? Sorry, Doug. It's just
That's alright. I asked for it, you
you asked
delivered.
for it. I was trying to. I was like, I'm trying to be up where, and it was, and you know me. Once it gets in my head,
I could tell you were, like, stuck, and I'm like,
I
"No,
was
just
stuck. I
say it."
couldn't find it. I couldn't find another example. I was stuck on that example. I was like, damn it. You know what happens once it gets in there, but it's the
Oh
same
my
thing.
gosh.
Like, you're selling something
Yeah.
clearly for women where there's nothing but men, and you're going, I don't know what. And then you're like, well, and then what happens is they go, well, I got some sales. Well,
Right.
yeah, because there were some women there,
Yeah. Right. Right.
right? And they
Yep.
just happen to have a need, but for the most part,
Yeah.
80% of the people you're talking to aren't qualified or interested,
Right.
But here's
Yep.
the thing. I understand why people feel like, oh, I got to take all my dollars and throw it into marketing, right? Because they think, as long as I got more leads coming in, I'll sell more. And that is one way to
Mm.
do it, but it's ineffective. What I love about what we do is that when people come to us and they discover how to sell, I'm like, right. So I don't want you to go get more leads. 8 out of 10 of the people that you didn't close, half of those are closable.
Mhm.
Half. So if you get 10 leads a week that are decent leads, that means that in a month, you're going to close 16. You're going to close double what you had already closed in a month just by
Mhm.
going and working with what you already had.
Right.
See, but here's the thing, Doug. If you really think about it, they're getting 20 to 30%. They're leaving 60 and 70% on the table. They could actually make a lot more money just by having a curiosity driven strategy that allows them to go back and close the leads they already have, the ones
Mhm.
that are qualified. Because I guarantee you there are some qualified ones that you did not close that you could have closed, but it's not their fault. And here's why it's not their fault. The sales lessons that are out there right now are for sales pros, not experts, not entrepreneurs. They're for sales pros and sales pros only.
Mhm.
That's what the deal is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really interesting because I totally like I could feel like when you were talking about the hard charge thing and everything, I was laughing. I don't know if you saw me laughing on camera, but it's like I was thinking back to that day when I just had that thing locked in and it was like I was gonna sell this come hell or high water, right? Kind of thing. And when you're talking about like the curiosity driven strategy,
Mhm.
it makes me think of Teresa. And Teresa and I had a conversation about this whole sales thing because she was like so in her head with it because she kind of had that same thing too. Like, I've got to sell this. Her and Leslie had this amazing sisterhood wind down retreat, but Teresa's putting all this pressure on herself that I got to sell, I got to sell, I got to sell. And I said, Teresa, what if you thought about it as like an invitation to a party? What
Mhm.
questions would you ask to find out if somebody might be qualified to go to the party and interested in the party? And then all of a sudden she had this little mindset shift and she came from this curiosity mindset, and it
Mhm.
changed the game. She calls me the next day and says, oh my god, I had 2 people sign up.
It's
And
a complete game changer. And she hated sales.
She hated it. She didn't
She
even
was
wanna
straight
have
up.
the
She's like,
conversation.
"Listen, I got this. If they want it, they
Yep.
need to come get it." Like,
Right.
like she's like, "I'm telling them who I am. I'm telling them what I got. If they want it, they need to come get it. I'm not doing
Right.
this, right?" Like,
Yes.
100%. And now she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm a closed machine. Like, I close 90%. How you doing?" Like,
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing. I think back to this and everything. And so if we I guess if we know that the top 1% of entrepreneurs are doing this, why are so many people like not figuring out like how easy it is, like for instance with the bat signal?
so here's the thing. We talked about that guy who literally gave up 40% of his company, right? $500,000
Yeah.
first year, $800,000 for over 2 years, right? Where the business development person is literally going to make $1.3 million over 2 years if he does nothing.
It's crazy.
Like if he does nothing, if he just follows the
Yeah.
status quo, and by the way, he owns 40% of this person's company. So
Mm,
literally, he could do nothing for the next 2 years and make $500,000 or $800,000 because that's the variance that he owns of that
right.
company. How much? And this was all because this person didn't want to learn how to sell. He wants to own a company, doesn't want to know how to sell. But here's the reason that people really struggle with this is number one, they think it's going to be hard to learn. It's going to be so hard to learn.
Mm,
And I understand why they
yep.
believe that, right? Because if you go out and you look at what's out there right now, I can go to, listen, you name top sales guru right now that has a book with a 10x on it, and he has 5,782 hours worth of freaking content
Right.
on
Yep.
sales. I mean, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So when I say something like, no, but seriously, you could be selling in the next 3 hours. Like it's super easy. It's literally 4 steps. It's 9 boxes, it's 4 steps. You'll be selling in 2 hours. They think I'm crazy. And then of course they come
Right.
to my class and they're like, no, like seriously, I just went and followed the boxes and I did it. Right? So
Yeah.
they think it's going to be hard to learn. They think it won't work for them. I don't know why, but I hear that all the time. Like I think it won't work. We have not run into an industry yet where the 9 boxes hasn't worked. And I mean, when I say that, European wax that, waxes eyebrows and body parts and hair and all this other stuff. See, I was good, right? Because I didn't say they wax your hoo-ha, but they do. They wax your hoo-ha, but I didn't say that because I didn't want to embarrass you, right? So
Thanks for your restraint.
you're so welcome. But like European wax, like I talked to that guy and he was like, yeah, if you can come and show our people how they can convert. They're literally converting people from a $20 eyebrow wax to a full body, couple $100 wax right there on the table, following the same exact 4 steps, right?
Yeah.
Cybersecurity companies, companies that are doing software for kids for bus routing, Microsoft, Starbucks, Amazon. Like if you go to Donna.com and you literally click there and look, you will see these companies. So it doesn't matter whether you're selling a widget or whether you're selling, high-end tech software, or whether you're like Starbucks and selling your product out to someone else. It
Mhm.
just works because it's so simple. It follows the hero's journey, which is the baseline for every movie that you've ever watched.
Mm,
So if it works for every movie you've ever watched, why can't it work for every sales calls you ever have?
yeah.
Right? So they think it's not going to work for them, or they think they can just hire someone like our friend
Oh,
in
like
the
try to
$500,000
outsource it and then they
hole.
don't have to yeah.
They're just going to outsource it. And let me tell you the worst part about that. There is going to be, this is my favorite part. This guy was like, I'm going to sell my company. And I'm like, you're going to sell your company when? He goes, when it gets to about $12 million. And I'm like,
Hmm.
if you can't sell literally a free service, what makes you think you'll have the skills to sell a $12 million company? If you don't learn now,
Right.
you are going to get screwed in the most. I mean, you already made the worst deal I've ever seen on
That's what I
paper.
was gonna say. He's already, yeah.
Right. And what he sells, by the way, so we're really clear, is free. It's 20%. It's based on what he makes for the client. So if the clients get a claim and they got $10,000, just for argument's sake, and then he goes, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go and be adjuster, and then he gets that claim to 50, which, by the way, I'm using actual numbers because I've seen these numbers,
Mm.
right? He gets from $10,000, now it's $50,000. Well, he's going to get $10,000. The homeowner gets $40,000, and it costs them nothing.
Hmm.
So he's selling something that's free.
Wow.
If you can't sell something that's free, what the hell
Right.
makes you think you're going to sell a $12 million company properly? So they think they can just hire someone to do it. But at the end of the day, if you do this right and your company grows, you're going to be caught in negotiations. You're going to be caught in partnerships. You're going to be caught in all kinds, having channel partners, etc. You're going to need to know how to sell and negotiate. You just do. Period.
Yep.
And you're going to need to be able to guide the conversation. And if you're standing on a stage if you're standing on a stage, that's an opportunity for you to sell your product. Even if you're
Yeah.
not selling from the stage, you need to know how to do it. If you're doing a masterclass, you need to know how to do it. If you're doing one of these, you need to know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you're just letting money walk out the door.
Yeah.
So you can't just hire someone. It has to be you at some point. And then they think that all they really have to do is more marketing. They think that the first thing they need to do is, Donna, the first thing I have to do is more marketing. I said, the first thing we
Yup.
have to do is look at your current lead pool that you already kind of raked over, and we're going to go in and ask for forgiveness to see if we can get them on the call. Like, that's the first thing, because they're sitting there. I'm literally watching people sitting there with this leads. I'm like, you're sitting there with 100 leads.
Right.
Right? Let's assume 50 of those are crap. So you got 50 good leads. Or hell, let's say 40 of them are crap. You got 40 good leads. But what if we could close 20 or 30 of those 40 at a higher ticket product?
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, you just went from, even if your product is $10,000, you're going to make $300,000, $5,000. You're going to make $150,000 by getting in by following something that took you 3 hours. 3 hours to make 150 grand? Are you out of your mind? This is just math at this point.
Yeah, that's some good math right there.
Yeah, I like that math.
That's a good hourly rate.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. At this stage, a lot of my clients really are at the point where they're going, this is the decade to get it done. Right? There's no more BS. And they recognize what I love about the people that are in our masterclass is that they recognize that they can double their revenue simply by having not more conversations, but more effective conversations with more qualified buyers. And that's what they want to do. More effective conversations with more qualified buyers. What's even better is that we can show them how to do this in such a short amount of time that they can go back and get that 4 out of 6 leads that they lost. And you're probably going, okay, and sound even it's not. I got you. Maybe you don't sound like that, but somebody did this.
Somebody does, I'm sure.
Somebody does sound like that. If you go to salessuperstar.net/video, or just go to salessuperstar.net, you will see a little button, a green button. It says download. You can actually download the 4-step process. I'm telling you, it's just 4 steps. And then if you're like, yeah, but if I download the 4-step process, I still am not going to know how to do it. Well, we thought of that. You can get on a call with me. Bring your credit card. No, I'm just kidding. You get on No. Seriously, bring your credit card. You can get on a call with me. All you got to do is click the button. And you can get a call with me and Chanel, and we'll actually walk you through the 4-step process for real. And if you're scared of me and Chanel, because some people are, we'll let you get on the phone with Doug. Doug's sweet.
I love it. So this whole thing has been like about the top 1% of wealthy entrepreneurs doubling their revenue and everything. I guess at the end of the day, I got one last question for you. What are they doing differently, Donna?
So what they're doing here is, I'm going to summarize what they're doing different. Number one, they have niched in on their expertise. number one.
Mhm.
They've niched in on their audience, right? If people were way more dumber, it would be way more easier because they would only have one thing they could do and they couldn't do anything else. And they would call me. I'm like, listen, just do that. Nope,
Yep.
nope, just do that because that's all you know how to do, right? The problem is people are brilliant, and so picking that expertise
Mm.
and then and what happens is they pick their expertise, they feel like they're throwing so much away. We're going to pick the one thing that you do it really well, and we're going to find the one audience so that way you are a unicorn in that audience, right?
Okay.
Even if you're
Yep.
selling something like this guy where he's selling adjusting services, I had like so many ideas where I'm like, I could show you how to make so much money and be a unicorn in this market where people would chase you down the street.
That'd
Right?
be a good problem to have.
Right. Like, oh my God. Like they would chase you down the street. Right. It's not a bit, yes, you need to do marketing, but it's a way difference between marketing a horse and marketing a unicorn.
Oh.
Right. You want to market the unicorn.
Yeah.
After you do that, you want to have a clear message. So people don't see, the thing is most people go, but I am a unicorn. You are yes, but you don't show that you're a unicorn until after they get to your house and knock on the door. Then all of a sudden you come out and you're like, oh, look at me. No, you
Yeah.
got to make them come to the door in the first place.
Hmm.
So you have to be able to communicate that you're a unicorn well ahead of time. Right. And you have to do that
Yep.
with a clear message. And then number 3, you got to have a strategy for having way more effortless and effective enrollment conversations. They got to be effortless and effective. You can't be doing all the things. It's a killer. And that's all I got.
I love it.
Oh,
I
look,
love
there's
it.
our co-founder, Channel.
Is she on?
She just put a hi. That's all. Hi, Channel.
Oh, okay.
We miss you so much.
Hey, Chanel.
Look at him calling you the proper name. So if you want to grab the blueprint, you can go to, again, salessuperstar.net. You can go to salessuperstar.net/video. If you're watching it there is a green button. You can click on the button. If you're sitting here with your iPhone, which clearly works, you can scan the QR code. I don't know if it works on Androids. Your cameras aren't superior, but you can scan the QR code and you could download it as well. So there are several ways. And if you get it and you're like, oh, but I still need help, that's why we're here. You can get on a call with us.
Hey, Donna, before we go,
Yeah.
have you looked at your phone recently?
Wait.
There's a message from Crystal, and I think you better check it out here quick before you sign off.
Here we go. I just got my first. Can I read it out loud? I just got my first. She did my. Oh, she did the bat signal.
You can't make this up, folks. This is not set up.
Oh, okay. So she anyway, she basically bat signaled this lady, got her in, and now she's starting to work with Crystal. Crystal just closed this right now. She just closed it right now. You can't make this up.
Can't make this up. Yay, Crystal.
Crystal is one of our clients, right?
She is amazing.
And here we go. Danielle said, I got here just in time for the shade. Well, that's probably the Android shade. That's probably because it didn't alert you on your Android that, we were starting because it's an Android. But if you had an iPhone, it would have alerted you. See?
You tell which team we're on.
Yeah. Team iPhone. Hey, if Chanel was on, she could have represented Team Android,
Right.
but she's not here. So it is what it is, ma'am. Let me just check my people and see who else is talking crap down here. Nobody. All right, just making sure. Oh, and of course, congratulations, Crystal. So proud of you.
Crystal.
And by the way, Crystal is not one of those people who's comfortable with sales. So the fact that Crystal is out here crushing it, she is, again, she's using, and y'all keep going, what the hell is the bat signal? That is the very silly name of our inside name of our methodology is called the bat signal. We try to call it something more like it's the 6-figure sales methodology when we're out with people, but inside we're like, the bat signal is bat signaling. Like, So internally, there's a whole inside joke of why it's called the bad signal. So anyway, congratulations, Crystal. Thanks for showing up. Listen, catch the rewind and make sure you download it, get on our calendar. And so glad that everybody showed up. And we will talk to you later. Holla.
Awesome.
Ride the grind and take it the way you gotta take it and never stop. I came to win, yeah, I came to win. I came to win, yeah, I came to